Welcome to our Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I am Jessica Sims, today's lay leader, and beside me is Lucy Sims, Jessica's wife, and across from me is Sandy Smith, another co-founder of the fellowship. We are the 3 adult members. We also have 3 youth members. I am Carrie Sims, Jessica and Lucy's daughter. And I am Debbie Smith, Sandy's daughter. James Smith is my brother, but he chose not to be here today. Now that we have introduced ourselves to the visitors, it is time for a happy announcement. For the first time since this fellowship was founded last year, it will gain 2 new members, Jason Laker and Tara Conlon. Please introduce yourselves to the others.
Hello. Until last month, I was a member of the local Baptist church, but a recent uproar regarding a disgraceful act by the church's pastor made me decide to leave the church. I want to serve a religious community motivated only by the highest standards of love and respect for others.
I am Tara Conlon. I read about Unitarian Universalism on the internet after rejecting my parents' Catholic beliefs. Mainly, I saw the church as seriously outdated and irrational. For years, I searched for a better religious group and was about to give up hope until I met Carrie and Debbie at a rock concert last month and saw Carrie was wearing a necklace that clearly had a UU symbol. I asked her about it and she told me about her fellowship. I may be driving 100 miles, but it is worth it to finally connect with kindred spirits. Thank you so much for doing this. We are glad to have you, Tara. Now it should be noted that this fellowship, like all UU fellowships, churches and other organizations, is autonomous. We can come up with our own rituals for admitting new members. We will proceed by asking several questions. Though we do not have a binding creed or dogmas, we do have 7 principles that define our moral values, based strictly on reality and human need. Jason and Tara, do you affirm the first UU principle of the inherent worth and dignity of every person?
I do.
I most certainly do. Do you also affirm the second UU principle, justice, equity, and compassion in human relations?
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Do you accept the third UU principle, acceptance of one another and encouragement to spiritual growth in our congregations? Yes.
I do.
Do you affirm the fourth UU principle, a free and responsible search for truth and meaning?
Yes!
Yes, certainly. That's why I am here. Do you also affirm the fifth UU principle, the right of conscience and the use of the democratic process within our congregations and in society at large? Yes, with all my heart.
Definitely, I do.
Do you also accept the sixth UU principle, the goal of world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all? Yes.
I do.
And finally, do you accept the seventh UU principle, respect for the interdependent web of all existence of which we are a part? Yes, I do.
So do I.
Then by the power granted me as lay leader of this fellowship, I hereby pronounce you, Jason Laker, and you, Tara Conlon, official members of the Unitarian Universalist Fellowship, with all the rights and privileges that come with that status. Congratulations. Hello. Who is this?
It's me, Joseph Anders, an attorney based in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I once worked with your ex-husband, Rich.
Oh, right. I saw you at the funeral.
Anyway, I was calling to inform you that Rich had me be the manager of his estate in case of his death, and since that has happened, I was authorized to open and read the contents of his will and testament. As you probably know, he was engaged to be married and his fiancée was already pregnant, but she and all of her children were killed along with Rich. And I found that Rich didn't revise the terms of his will before he died.
So what are you saying, Joseph?
I am saying that as of now, you have over $20 million in cash and assets, including 2 houses in Tulsa, the club Rich owned and managed, and millions more of cash in checking and savings accounts. Everything Rich had is now yours. You just have to come to my office in a few days to sign the documents and the money and property transfer will be confirmed.
Oh, my God. I must inform my children of this. Mother, I really don't care about the money. I'd rather be dirt poor if it meant my father being still alive.
I agree. All that money and property is meaningless to me.
I understand, but we can actually do a lot of good with that money. We could donate most of it to charity, or even buy a small church building to use for our UU fellowship. We now have 8 members, and it is possible we may be adding more in the future. An actual church building with a physical address would help a lot. I will get that. Miss Jenkins, what brings you here? Today, there was a complete split among our Baptist congregation, with more than 30 members defecting from the church over Reverend Dave Owen's recent behavior as well as his general dogmatic and intolerant attitude. Well, I can't say I'm sorry to hear about that. Bigotry and arrogance are often their own punishments. Jason Laker has already joined our Unitarian Universalist fellowship. I see. Sandy, I was wondering, could we dissenting Baptists join forces with you and the other Unitarian Universalists? I was told you used to accept Christians among themselves. After all that I have learned and seen over the past year, I am ready to change my religious allegiance. I want to be a UU too.